am trying to build a startup during my first semester of college while I work 2 software engineering jobs. I am maintaining a 4.0 somehow, but that's probably not going to last. So how do I manage it all? Okay, so what do I do every day? And by the way, I'm not doing this right now. This has been like the past 2 months for me, give or take. Like right now is chill. Right now I have time, I have room to breathe, I have like one more week of college, I'm chill. But here's what I've done almost every day for the past like month or two. Okay, I wake up at about 7:15 in the morning. I do my normal morning routine until about 8:30. Then I'm off to school. I do commute. I work on my first internship during classes and on breaks. Then I'm off to lunch. I do specifically include this because it's like the one time that I go out of my way to interact with people, which is probably not super healthy, and I'll get to that later. Then it's school, and first internship work until about 5 or 6 p.m. And then I head home. Sometimes I have clubs, so I stay about like an hour or two after. But anyways, when I get home, if need be, I study, but this is almost never the case. I do get dinner, by the way. I should clarify that. Mind you, I'm a freshman going to a pretty easy school, so my workload is a bit lighter than most of y'all's. Then I'm going to work on my second internship while managing stuff from my first until about 10 or 11 p.m. normally. And at that point on, I'm going to work on my own startup, which I'm actually going to start building once these internships end, unless I get a full-time offer from one of them. Then I'll keep building this on the side. And by the way, when I say building, I mean kind of just thinking about how I want to do this and getting some things written out, And then I normally go to bed at like 12 in the morning or 1, probably closer to 1 most days. And yes, I know a lot of you are going to say like, oh my God, Oscar, you're getting less than 6 hours of sleep a night. And I'm going to say, yes, you're right. And it sucks. And my mental health is horrible. And I'm going to talk about that in a moment. But thankfully, this isn't every single day, right? There are plenty of days where I get 8, even 9 hours of sleep. But I'd say more often than not, it's closer to 6. Okay, so how? Firstly, I think this is like the most important thing for me, at least, constant self-delusion. This is the idea that you are so constantly hyper confident in yourself that whatever it is you're doing is possible, is doable, and you should keep doing it no matter what, right? There's no overthinking anything. No, I don't know if this is going to work out. I don't know if it's worth putting the time in. Nothing like that. Just locked in out of my mind constantly. It's hard to describe in like 30 seconds, but that's kind of like the brief overview. And I think like going along with that, there's no magic trick to doing this, right? There's no like, if you sleep for 6 hours, this night, and then 10 hours the next night, and then 2 hours the next night, you'll be 20% more productive, right? There's no magic trick. And I mean, with that, I think believing in one makes you worse off. The magic trick, the magic that goes on behind the scenes to allow me to like work this much without burning out and without really suffering poor mental health, which again, I'll talk about that in a second, is kind of just, again, going back to constant self-delusion, just this mindset of I'm going to do whatever it is I need to do. Whatever it is I need to do is going to happen, and it's not an option, right? It's going to get done, and I'm going to do it, right? Whatever it is feasible, and I can do it, and I'm going to do it. And it's just that constantly. As far as like more generic advice goes, I do crash on the weekends. Normally the first like 2/3 of Saturday, if not the entire day, are my kind of day off. Secondly, as far as like general health goes, caffeine, good diet, and exercise. Caffeine, that shit is cocaine for me. I swear to God, I am the wolf of Wall Street. I swear I am. Caffeine has such a strong effect on me because I've almost never had it in my life before, and now that I'm having it like once or twice a week, it is insane, dude. It is genuinely a drug for me. Again, good diet, very important, right? You cannot eat shit and then work like this. That's just not going to pan out. Just you're tracking calories, tracking macros, all that fun stuff that will help. And along with that is exercise. I go to the gym 3 days a week, and I walk enough on campus that honest to God gets my cardio in. I'm like so serious. I could do more cardio, but like I walk across campus multiple times a day. Like I'm chill, The third thing I'm going to mention in the how do I do this section is social life. I think people don't value this enough. Right, we are social creatures. We operate in a social environment, and that's how we are happy, right? If I shut myself off all day and don't talk to anybody, right? That's not going to be good for me. Everything else is going to be an absolute wreck, right? And that's why I specifically mentioned lunch, right? That's where I go out of my way to take 30 minutes, an hour, maybe even an hour and a half to go and just talk to somebody, right? It helps. It really does. If you're doing this kind of lifestyle, I would highly recommend that you just like talk to people. It really does help. Fourth thing, this is a little bit more personal to me. Music. Dude, music makes me so happy. I don't care like what kind of music it is. Like it can be, I've been listening to metal a lot lately. I've found this one band that I really enjoy. It can be metal, it can be Suicide Boys. I don't care. I just music just makes me happy. Okay. And fifthly, this is going to kind of drag us into our next section, but I think this is honestly the most important thing is have a why, right? Have a reason why you're doing this, right? That reason can't be, oh, well, my parents want me to succeed in college or something, right? Like that's not going to work when it's 1 a.m. and prod is broken, right? You have to have a why. So here's my why. My why is actually a lot of things. Firstly, and you can probably guess this because I'm an 18-year-old male, cars and money. I want a Mark V Supra, an M2, and an E36. Secondly, I want to make like a serious difference, right? I don't want to, volunteer at a food pantry once a week, right? That's not bad, but that's not enough for me, right? I want to fully fund that food pantry, right? Like that kind of thing, right? Like that kind of difference. In this same vein as money, I don't want the people that I love and care about to ever have to worry about money, right? Like that's a big reason why I work this hard is because I want to get to the point where I can fund everyone. No one should have to worry about money, right? Fourthly, I know that I'm not doing this for the rest of my life, right? That kind of idea of, this sucks right now, but it's gonna end at some point is extremely comforting, right? Just trust me on that. Fifthly, and absolutely most importantly for me, this is what gives my life meaning. I don't know what the hell I would do with my life if I didn't work this hard. I genuinely don't. I think it would probably be art or video games. I might get like really good at Valorant maybe, or I would just get like really addicted to Hypixel Skyblock again. I'm not really sure, but if I didn't do this, I don't know what I would do with my life. Okay, and now for the fun part, the downsides. So firstly, poor sleep. As I mentioned, about half the time I'm sleeping less than 6 hours a night. Poor sleep leads to poor mental, and that is a kind of like death spiral. Secondly, constant need for focus. When you're running on like 5 or 6 hours of sleep, it's very hard to focus, and it takes a lot more effort to like really lock in on a problem. And since software engineering is, problem solving, it is a lot to ask to like really focus on a problem. It sounds stupid, but if you've lived through something like this before, believe me, it sucks. Just trust me on that. Thirdly, this is a little bit more abstract, and I think a lot of people won't get this. Everything blurs together. Like there were plenty of times where I was like, I don't really know like what day of the week it is or what time I talked to this person last or what I said to them last time. Hell, I forget people's names sometimes, right? I forget people's names a lot. I mean, that's kind of just me, but you get the point, right? Everything kind of just blurs together and it's not really a fun feeling. Fourthly, so much pressure. I have so much pressure on my shoulders, and it is like, it is not good for a lot of reasons that I'm not going to talk about. Just that constant pressure is just, ugh. A lot of that pressure is self-inflicted. A lot of, if not all of that pressure is self-inflicted. So you can call me a martyr for that if you want. But the fact of the matter is it's a lot of pressure that I put on myself. And it sucks sometimes. And with all that being said, when I'm working this much, I am at my breaking point like every single day. And that is definitely not good, right? Along with that, your social life, or my social life at least, definitely is not great, right? I have like 2 friends on the entirety of campus. I know someone from Mary Washington is going to watch this and be like, oh my God, you have so many friends. But like, I only talk to like those 2 people outside of school, right? Like everyone else is kind of just like a school acquaintance. And I would love for them to be like more than that. But like, I don't really know how to do that. And my social growth is kind of stunted because of how much I work. So yeah, social life, friends, that all declines, right? Like these are all like the downsides of this. But again, I told you about the why I'm doing this, and that's why I keep doing this. That's why I keep like putting myself through this because it's worth it to me, right? But yeah, that about sums everything up. I just kind of wanted to yap about what I've been doing for the past like 3 or 4 months, because it's like taken a lot out of me. But I do look. I swear to God, biggest character growth arc, the biggest character growth arc you will ever see in someone's freshman year. Like, I am so locked in, you don't even understand. Character development is off the charts. All right. It's crazy. It's crazy. Next semester, you're gonna be insane. Just trust me on that. All right. But yeah, that about wraps it up. If you enjoyed this, or if you like these kind of more free form videos, let me know. And if you're dealing with anything like this, let me know. I am genuinely interested to see how other people like cope with this, because I don't think it's talked about a lot, and I would like to hear someone else's perspective on it, I guess. Okay, with that, yeah, peace.